This week we're going to make cattails or bulrushes from scratch. This week we're looking at cattails or bulrushes, and they're either very fluffy, quite pale plants, as you can see here, and it's the flower head at the top, or they have this darker brown flower head, and I think that's what I think of when we do bulrushes, so that's what I'm going to model. This week we're looking at how to model cattails from scratch, and I'm going to take a fine wire, much like this, anything will do, and I'm going to turn it into some really good looking cattails, bulrushes or reeds, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to take this magnet wire and I'm going to stick it into some inert plasticine. I tried it once with polystyrene and all that happens is your polystyrene melts and all the beads fall over. It's not a great look. But first up I'm just going to snip this, and it's basically into some fairly long lengths. I can always trim them down to size, but I can't make them longer. I want them to be fairly straight, and I'm going to do about 8. There's 4, 5, it's got a bit of a kink in it, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to take some polystyrene, plasticine even. This is plasticine that I've had for a while, and I just find it very useful for modelling. It fills gaps well. I would normally stick things onto a piece of cardboard, but in this instance I will do that, but in this instance with a bit of masking tape as well, it'll just stop it from falling over. So there's my plasticine. These are just going to get stuck in. Okay, I'm going to go and spray paint these in my garage to spray paint them with a bit of primer. Because it's quite a shiny wire, I like to just get the grey on there. So I'm going to use a bog standard Halford's car primer. It's a primer, cellulose based, sticks to anything. You can also use something like a Tamiya fine primer for modelling. I find it's great, but I have to say the Halford stuff, it's cheap and it's readily available in the UK. So here's my sprayed, primed, ready to paint cattails. I'm going to leave them on the side to dry for a bit. On with the cattails. So the paint's dried. Next up, I'm actually going to use it's natural, it's the colour. It's a basic bog standard craft acrylic paint. There are many different paints you could use for this. If you're into airbrushing, it would be much quicker to airbrush this, but now you're thinking, why aren't I doing green? Well, it's because the brushes that I'm going to put these into are actually all the dead ones. And because they're already a dark colour, sort of a sort of dead colour, I don't really want to paint these green because they'll just stand out and look weird. Now the trick is to get all the sides painted, otherwise you end up with the wrong colour streaks, which is why I've primed these, because it's so easy to miss a bit, and then you get them on your layout and you think, oh, copper coloured, whatever they are, not best. Leave them on the side to dry. So what's the next stage on our bulrushes? We need to add that brown flower head. Many different ways of doing this. You just need something thick. Now this is tacky glue. It's just a normal white glue. It's a little bit thicker than average, and I'm just going to put it on as a little splodge around. It doesn't want to be as much as that actually. If you do, it just falls off. Whoa, not that much. I think it might be dripping a bit much. Let's just go with a cocktail stick full instead. A bit more control. There we go. And the trick is to get it on fairly thickly and spread out. Now, like many things in modelling, you can't do this all in one go. If you do, it just doesn't work. So I just want to spread these out, leaving a little bit stuck out the top. Here we go. And it doesn't matter if it sticks out one side like this one does at the moment. We'll even it out over time. I'm just going to leave those, and I'm going to check in a couple of minutes that it hasn't dribbled and run down too far, because that is the danger, that they run. So it's worth turning them upside down every now and then. Just let it run back the other way. Time to put another coat on these cattails. So I've got a bit of glue here, which is tacky glue. I've got a cocktail stick again, and I'm just putting a bit more on, so I get that nice long tubular brown look. The last thing to do on your cattails is to paint them brown. This is Vallejo, it's 70872 chocolate brown. You can use any brown that you happen to have, as long as it's fairly opaque. I've put a little bit out. These my use for old business cards, and woo, manky brush, but hey. And you literally just need to brush it on. Do all the ones in one side first. So these are the reeds, and these are my finished cattails. So I just need to plant these in here. Very simple. The big problem is actually not smearing too much paint on the cattails. I'm just going to put a blob on here. On the cattails onto the reeds as they go in. So just need to grab them, put a small amount of paint on, and you can see it's a bit coppery at the bottom, but that doesn't matter too much. Make a little parting and just plant them. And I think that one's too long. So what I do then is I just need to, I've got one bit of reed that just keeps popping out. So I'm just going to plant that as well with a bit more glue. I think the trouble is every time I glue it in there, it isn't quite. So I think this needs to just shrink by that much, say. I don't need it to be quite as tall as that. So small blob of glue, down it pops, and there we go, just popping out the top. So there we go. There we go, my planted cattails. So this is the final result. We have some cattails. They stick above the rest of the reeds so you can see them, because that's what happens in real life, and they're planted in my reed bed that I've got from a previous episode. And if you want to see that reed bed, then you can see it on this video here. So here's the final result as I first finished it, and you can see the bulrushes stick up well above the other reeds, which happens in real life, but I wasn't so happy with that, so I went back and added just a few more reeds, shoved in, and just glued like I did the bulrushes, and I think it just adds a little bit more to the bulrushes. They don't become quite so stark, but it's up to you. You don't have to add extra reeds in. I just wanted to give a bit more substance to my reed bed. This week, the mini Cathies have a tour adventure.
It's not fair. It's not fair. They build these things so tall. Look at that. I can't see up there. How can I get through? I can't get through. It's too thick. I can't I feel so just... Oh, here comes Millscale Kathy. Maybe she'll give me a lift. Well, nice day for a stroll, isn't it? Oh, you can see so much when you can see over the reeds. Oh, hi, Unscale Kathy. What are you doing down there? Give me a lift, give me a lift, give me a lift, please, 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 please. Oh, you want to see? Well, it's a nice view. Let me get you up. Oh, here we go. Whee! Whee! Oh, look what you can see up here. You can see everything. You can see over the reeds. You can see for miles. Look at it. Oh, I've never seen so far. Wow. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you, Millscale Kathy. Wish I was a bit bigger though. I could see this every day. Oh. Still, it's good for now, isn't it? Look. Oh, I can see a diorama. There's another one. Ooh, there's a waterfall. Ooh, is that what she's doing next? I'll have to wait for that one.
Well, it looks like Unscale Kathy's got a taste for the heights. But will it continue next week? Tune in and find out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode on cattails. If you did, then subscribe to me on YouTube or on my website, kathymillett.co.uk. Alternatively, like me on Facebook, Kathy Millett Modelling. See you next week.